Today's another story from the subreddit Nosleep. It's called Alternative Medicine, from the username Ia. I hope you enjoy. June 29th, 2015. Bill's been complaining about the cut on his leg. He won't go to the doctor, and I don't blame him. He doesn't need a smug college boy in a white coat telling him he can't be working on the house at his age. Back in my day, I remember my mom telling us that fly babies ate up all the bad skin and whatnot from a cut that's gone bad. I'll see what Bill's got to say about it later. June 30th. Didn't take too long to get Bill on board. He's always told me I'm the smart one of the family. I got him sitting out on the porch with his leg propped up on a stool. The cut's a nasty thing. Goes from the little joint under his knee all the way around to that tendon in his heel. Bill's a toughie, though. Hardly complains at all, thanks to the bourbon. I guess we just have to wait and see if those flies will come and do their thing. July 1st. What a scorcher today. Bill's sweating up a storm and his leg looks real bad. A couple flies landed on it, but then took right off, so I took a little molasses and rubbed it around the cut. And you know what? That did the trick. Before we knew it, there were 10 or so of the little guys on the cut at a time. Bill told me they tickled, but I told him to man up and let them make their babies in peace. He did. July 2nd. I'm glad Bill chose to sleep in the chair on the porch. We didn't want to disturb any of the progress we were making. When I looked at the cut in the morning, it was real red. Lots redder than the day before. I told him that it meant it was healing. He nodded and had some breakfast bourbon. In the afternoon, we started to see some white gunk leaking out of the cut. It smelled pretty bad. From what I remember Mom telling me, that always happens before it starts getting better. Bill was glad to hear it. July 3rd. Boy oh boy, does Bill's leg stink. I think he might be running a little fever too. A fever's the body's way of fighting off an infection, so it's good he's got his own body working with the fly babies. Speaking of those, we can see the little buggers wiggling inside that cut. They're real small, but they're definitely there. I make fun of Bill and call him a mama, and he tells me to shut up and we laugh. I made sure to make him an extra big dinner so he could have his strength and keep fighting the good fight. July 4th. Happy Independence Day. Wish it was a happier one for Bill. He had a real hard time getting to the restroom with his leg as swollen as it's gotten. He left a trail of those white worms as he walked. I asked if he was Hansel or Gretel. He didn't get it. I shouldn't poke fun at the poor man, but it doesn't feel like his fever has gotten much higher, so we've got that going for us. Tomorrow I'm going to peek around inside the cut. Better get Bill some extra bourbon, because it's gonna hurt. July 5th. My poor Bill had a bad fall in the middle of the night when he had to get up to go pee. I didn't even hear him, and only found out in the morning when I saw some blood and fly babies on the floor near the bathroom. Well, that, and he wouldn't get out of bed. Took some convincing for me to get him to show me what he hurt. That tendon in his heel, that was already a little cut up, just snapped and rolled up like a window shade. He couldn't move his foot at all, and had to hop all the way back. Don't know what it says about me that I couldn't hear him hopping and grunting. Guess I'm getting old. July 6th. I got Bill's leg all splinted up as best as I could. He really hooted and hollered when I tried to pull that tendon back into place. We agreed that I should just give up and let it heal on its own. Some good news, though. The fly babies are looking great. There might be 1,000 of the little guys in there, and some even grew and started laying their own eggs. The itching is bothering Bill real bad, and he said he's got a hell of a sore throat. I'm trying to make all his favorite dinners to help him keep his mind off it. July 7th. Bill's leg is swollen up real bad, and the sheets on his bed are starting to get wet with whatever's coming out of that cut. Doesn't smell right either. I took as many of the flybabies out as I could reach and poured some rubbing alcohol in the cut. Boy, I thought he hollered yesterday. I thought he'd break all the kitchen china all the way from the bedroom the way he yelled. He's got some bad lumps on the side of his neck. On top of all this, my poor Bill's got to deal with a cold. When it rains, it pours, I guess. July 8th. Bill's fever is high. I asked if he wanted me to call the doctor, and he would have none of it. I feel stupid for asking. July 9th. The smell coming off Bill's leg woke me up at sunrise. I opened up all the windows and tried to air the place out. It was hard for Bill to wake up. He's fighting that cold with everything he's got. He's always been a fighter. A little cut and a cold won't keep my man down. There's a lot of flies in the house lately. I figure they're from the babies in his leg. To be honest, they're just becoming part of the background. Ambiance, I think they call it. July 14th. I haven't written for a while, because Bill passed away the other night. It must have been his heart. I'd been worrying about how his ticker would hold up against all the other stuff. Wasn't an issue for years, though. I guess it doesn't matter. I still go to bed with him every night. I don't want him to be alone any more than he'd want me to be. Plus, and I know I'm being a big weirdo for thinking this, but I don't want all those baby flies to be without their mama. Bill didn't like being called that, but we both knew it was true. The little babies are all over his mouth and his nose and eyes. Maybe other spots too, but I don't want to look and make Bill blush. The girls in heaven will make fun of him for a while, if they saw him blush. No, I'm content with watching him the way he is. Big Mama Bill, you know. I always wanted to be a grandma.